Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Sorry that it's been so long. Like, I've been so busy doing, I've been really busy and I haven't had time to make a video. But I'm back. So today in this video, I'm going to be talking about domestic violence. Domestic violence is it's a major issue, all over the world. It's a major issue, and it happens everywhere. And in some cultures, it's actually accepted as kind of a cultural thing, which is really bad. And it's just one of those issues where we kind of need to people need to get a grips about it and what it's actually all about. And for me, my definition of domestic violence is basically when over a long period of time, and domestic abuse is basically kind of the same thing, where obviously over a long period of time, a certain person in the family is being abused by another member of the family. Now the thing is, it's always typical for it to be the husband beating the wife, or even the wife beating the husband, but actually sometimes it can be the siblings as well. Sometimes, say for example, your sister is she's been hitting you constantly all the time, and saying hurtful things and whatever. That is also abuse as well. That is domestic abuse. It doesn't have to be the parents. It can also be the siblings. It can be a cousin, anyone in your family, basically. And I think also with domestic violence, I think the way to go about it is, because obviously domestic violence is harder to prove than rape, because the reason why is because with a lot of the time rape happens within domestic violence. So and the thing is, spousal rape wasn't even a thing until at least about the 1970s. So actually not even that till the 1980s. So it wasn't recognised as a crime until the 1980s. So it's literally it's a really kind of tough subject as well, in terms of and people, you have to go about it so carefully, because people do die from domestic violence, and it's because sometimes, a lot of the time, it's because the partner was abused as a kid, or because it's just something in their brain. They don't know why, it just happens, and so it's just something in their brain that kind of makes them really kind of vile, and it's not a nice feeling at all. And I've been a victim of that. So it wasn't excessive, but it wasn't a major thing what happened to me, but it was kind of it wasn't an ongoing thing, but it kind of it only started recently. So it was a recent thing. It wasn't over the year thing, because a lot of the time with domestic violence it's over the years. There was if anybody watches Law and Order SVU, there was an episode of Human Persona when the woman wanted to run away from her husband, but she was denying that she was being domestic abuse, and then Olivia saved her. But she went back to the shelter. She put her in a shelter, but she went back, and she ended up dead because of it. Because she wanted to get pregnant. Or he wanted her to get pregnant, but she didn't want to have a baby with him. So it was it's one of those situations. And domestic violence is so I think 1 in 6 women. I think there's 1 in 6 women have been in an abusive relationship, and even in the LGBTQ community, it's actually really common in the in terms of gay couples and stuff, because it's just because they have that power. They know that obviously, in my opinion, I think they know that they can get away with it because they're gay. So it's just and they know that obviously they won't get blamed for it because they're gay, which is wrong, obviously. And obviously I'm all for the LGBT community, but there comes a time when obviously some people take it too far. Obviously, you can be raped when you're gay. It's just not, and it's not nice. But yes, obviously domestic violence is it's the reason why I'm trying to talk about it is because you don't know what to say about it, and I wanted to do this because I wanted to give some advice about it. And the advice basically is, if someone's been, so the signs of I actually planned this out myself. The signs of being domestically abused are basically if the person kind of is very kind of quiet, and is so signs of domestic abuse are basically if the person, if the say for example, if it's a wife and a husband, the wife is being domestically abused, and she keeps blowing off her friends because to be with her husband, that's a sign of domestic violence, because a lot of the time they've grown to like kind of sympathise with their like it's like Stockholm syndrome, which is basically when they've sort of sympathised with their captor or whatever, or the person that's obviously controlling them, and they're being controlled and they can't help themselves. Their brain is wired to obviously their control, which is one sign. Another sign is where what's another sign? I think basically another sign is obviously the most obvious sign of all is if you see marks on them. That is them. And also there's a sign if they are wearing, if you actually, this is actually my opinion, if you actually see somebody wearing a long sleeve top that has never worn a long sleeve top for a long time, like so say for example, if the person has started wearing long sleeve tops recently and they've never done it before, that's a sign, because obviously they're trying to hide their marks, and it's like it's a really obvious sign, but it sometimes as well isn't, because you don't know what's going on behind the house. And also as well when basically, and also like when if the wife goes missing for a few days, that's when you know something's wrong, because obviously and also when at a party when the woman's not acting, like if you notice if her and her husband go to a party and the woman isn't acting like how you know you would with your husband, then obviously something's wrong as well. But like that's obviously like some like just a video. I'm trying to make these videos as short as I can, because obviously long videos people tend to get bored. But yeah, I think with domestic violence, it's such a sad subject, because people die from it every day. I think, and also in the UK, police are called every 20 seconds to a domestic violence dispute, which is really, really bad. In America, I think it's 15 seconds, but in the UK, it's 20 seconds, which is really, really bad. It's not as bad as if it was 10 seconds, which is even worse, but 20 seconds is really bad. And obviously we try and like help people. Like, obviously there's a lot of domestic violence charities that will help, especially the Joyful Heart Foundation, which is obviously based in America, and now it's based over here as well, partly. But yeah, so thank you for watching my video. And I'm behind on videos, and it's my fault. I've not been myself. Like I've like been really busy and stuff. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope that you take my advice. And I hope you learned a bit more about domestic violence, which you never thought you knew before. And also with domestic violence, it's just please help somebody if you think they are. There's actually an app called Sky. If you go onto the UK, I'll put the link below. If you go onto the UK Says No More website, it's for if you think your friend is being in a domestic relationship, or somebody you know is in a domestic relationship, or you are yourself, then please I'll put the link below. The Joyful Heart, the UK Says No More. I'll put it for the American one as well. They have a link to a website where you can like download this app. It's for people who are suffering, or who know people who are suffering from domestic violence. Please click on it if you are. And I'm going to be telling another story next video, because I'm trying to do one video where there's no story and one video without. So, but thank you guys for listening. And see you again for another video.